Hey guys, once again, I'm Jay, and this time I'm here to share my list of 5 evil Batmen. Now let's get this intro out of the way quickly so that we can bring on the Batman. The world's greatest detective debuted in Detective Comics number 27 in 1939. Batman was created by artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger, and he was said to have been influenced by Sherlock Holmes, Zorro, The Shadow, and sketches by Leonardo da Vinci. The question of whether or not Batman goes too far or not far enough is the subject of great debate, but let's take a look at a few versions of Batman that definitely went too far. Number 5, The Bruce. I, Joker is an Elseworld story that takes place in a distant alternate future. In this reality, Batman, or the Bruce as he's called in the story, is a title that's passed down from one person to the next. Thing is, Batman is the leader of a cult that rules the world. The cult's preacher is known as the Gordon, because of course he is, and everyone who opposes the Bat cult is captured, brainwashed, surgically altered into a member of Batman's rogues gallery, and then ritualistically murdered. Every year, the Bruce goes after them, and the cult cheers him on as he tracks down and murders each one. Of course, I'm not going to give away the ending, but the comic is told from the perspective of Joseph Collins, who's been captured and turned into the Joker. It's a wild ride, you guys. Number 4, Leatherwing. There have been at least 2 versions of Batman called Leatherwing, of which I'm aware. There's this guy who first appeared in 1994's Detective Comics Annual number 7 and is also a pirate because, why not? And then there's this guy who first appeared in 2007's Countdown to Adventure number 2 and is also a Nazi. Clearly, the latter is the evil Batman we're featuring on this list. Earth 10 is a world in which Germany won World War II. As a result, everyone is separated based on their genetics. Those deemed inferior are killed, and the remaining used to breed. It's dark, depressing stuff for sure. Leatherwing, along with other DC counterparts, including Overman, who I mentioned in my 5 Evil Supermen video, are appointed by Hitler to be his heroes, and they form the JL Axis. They're opposed by a group called the Freedom Fighters, led by a hero calling himself Uncle Sam. Number 3, Asbats. I wanted most of the entries on this list to be actual alternate versions of Bruce Wayne. I don't mind using the occasional second-generation hero or clone. I mean, I did pick Webman in my Evil Spider-Man video. So the next couple of entries are not really Bruce Wayne, but they're still worthy. Asbats is a portmanteau of the names Azrael and Batman. John Paul Valley, going by the name Azrael, was an assassin in the Order of Dumas. Batman attempted to rehabilitate Azrael and even went so far as to appoint him as the new Batman, while Bruce Wayne recovered from a Bane-inflicted broken back. However, old habits die hard, and this new Batman began to murder criminals, an activity Mr. Wayne certainly did not approve of. Well, he kinda just allowed them to die, but nevertheless, Batman returned to active duty, defeated Azrael, and the status quo was restored. Number 2, Black Lantern Batman.
The blackest night falls from the skies, the darkness grows as all light dies. We crave your hearts and your demise, by my black hand the dead shall rise.
That little ray of sunshine is, of course, the oath of the Black Lantern Corps. Led by the Lord of the Unliving Necron, the Black Lanterns are basically reanimated bodies. From the unknown depths of Sector 666, the Black Lantern rings descend upon entire worlds and claim the dead. I'd say that you can't make this stuff up, but clearly someone did. So, what happens when a Black Lantern ring finds its way onto the corpse of the Batman? Nothing good, that's for sure. Necron used the Justice League's emotional connection to Batman against them, and thus, this happened. Now, it was later revealed that this body was a clone, but still, it's Black Lantern Batman. It's so awesome. Check out Blackest Night. It's only 3 issues, and it's really fun, and also dark. Number 1, The Dark Knights. So this time, we're going out with a bang. Rather than end with the most evil Batman I could find, we're ending with a whole team of evil Batmen from the Dark Universe. As we've discussed many times, the Dark Knights were formed when an alternate version of Bruce Wayne, known as the Batman Who Laughs, was given the task of finding other evil versions of Batman by Barbados. They made their way to Earth Prime with some unwitting help from the Court of Owls, who were killed for their trouble, and Barbados drained the life force from Superman and Wonder Woman Batwoman, leaving them incapacitated. You guys, I had so much fun with this one. I had never read Dark Knight's Metal, and so I had never read any of the tie-ins that introduced these alternate versions of Batman. I read all 7 tie-ins and all of Dark Knight's Metal at once. This was for the original version of this video on Comicstorian. But even that wasn't enough, right? So I looked up a reading list and tracked down every related issue from any book that I could find, and I ended up making not only the original version of this video for Comicstorian, but also an individual video for each of the 7 Dark Knights. And the funny part is, all I needed for the sake of the video were the 7 tie-ins that tell the origin stories. But my obsession with Batman aside, let's run down 7 evil Batmen for the price of 1, and if you're still interested, you'll find a card in the upper right-hand corner leading to the 7 Dark Knight videos that I made for the Into the Omniverse series. So here they are, in a mostly random order. I did put the leader of the group first. The Batman Who Laughs was a Jokerized version of Batman from Earth -22. As previously stated, he was the leader of the Dark Knights. His goal was to help his master Barbados plunge the multiverse into darkness. Like all the Dark Knights, he came from a universe within the Dark Multiverse, which has been described as a shadow under the primary multiverse. A malformed world of nightmare where every fear and every bad decision plays out. Joker and his goons killed Batman's entire rogues gallery, used some sort of chemical to dissolve Commissioner Gordon, blew up buildings all around the city, including hospitals, and infected a bunch of children with the Joker toxin after killing their parents. Batman broke his one rule and killed the Joker. However, he later told Superman that even though he had to take out Joker, he refused to slide down the slippery slope. He would not become a monster like Joker wanted. Sadly for Batman, when he killed the Clown Prince of Crime, he was exposed to a new strain of Joker toxin, and it rewrote his mind to become more like that of the Joker, causing him to first kill the entire Bat family, then the Justice League, and eventually the entire world. Moving on to the Devastator, we find Earth -1, where Superman lost his mind for some unknown reason. The Blue Boy Scout murdered Lois Lane and went on a rampage, just slaughtering people indiscriminately. Batman, unable to find a way to return Superman to sanity, tried to take him down with a kryptonite-tipped spear. Superman taunted Batman, describing his disappointment in Batman's attempt to fight him, but the spear was just a distraction. Batman injected himself with a modified version of the Doomsday virus and transformed into an amalgam of Doomsday and Batman, and then easily killed the Man of Steel. Unfortunately, in his desperation, the Dark Knight had caused the virus to spread to everyone, turning them all into mindless monsters. Next up, we have Earth -11 and Bryce Wayne. Now, Earth 11 in the normal DC multiverse is a gender-swapped alternate version of Earth Prime. Earth -11 is a dark version of that universe, as is the case with all Dark Universe worlds. Bryce Wayne's love interest was called Sylvester Kyle, see what they did there? And after Kyle was murdered by a group of rogue metahumans, Batwoman went on an 18-month killing spree, taking out every single metahuman on the face of the Earth. Aquawoman and the Atlanteans eventually came to the surface to talk peace with the surface world, but Batwoman was suspicious. When the peace talks break down, she's proven correct, and in a totally logical and necessary move, she surgically alters her own physiology and genetics to better combat the Atlanteans. Batwoman takes over Atlantis and submerges the entire Earth underwater. That brings us to Earth -52. In this universe, Batman lost many different Robins over the course of his career and became obsessed with bringing them back. Batman uses the weapons of Mirror Master, Captain Cold, and other villains to capture the Flash and chain him to the Batmobile, which he had modified using the blueprints for the Cosmic Treadmill. Batman drove directly into the Speed Force itself, and as a result, the two heroes were fused together. Batman gained a corrupt connection to the Speed Force, while Flash became a second consciousness inside his head. I'm sure you've guessed what happened next. The Caped Crusader uses his powers to go on a killing spree, eliminating his entire rogues gallery. Then we have Earth -44 and the Murder Machine. In this universe, a group of supervillains led by Bane broke into the Batcave and murdered Alfred Pennyworth. Bruce Wayne was distraught, and while gathering with the Justice League to mourn Alfred's death, he asked Cyborg for help. Bruce had created a digital copy of Alfred's consciousness that he hoped to fashion into an artificial intelligence. He called this the Alfred Protocol. Cyborg agreed to help, but the AI version of Alfred soon began to act very hostile toward anyone except Batman. When the Alfred protocol began killing Batman's enemies, Cyborg wanted to destroy it, but Batman, unwilling to lose Alfred again, refused and decided to try and reason with the new AI. Unfortunately, Alfred merged with the Batman and in the process took away all his fears and along with it, his humanity. Batman, in his new evil Tony Stark persona, slaughtered all the remaining criminals and the Justice League without a shred of remorse. And since this is likely the longest number 1 on any list I've ever done, we'll move right along to The Merciless from Earth -12. This was a dark version of Earth 12 where Batman and Wonder Woman were together. The God of War created a helmet that amplified his powers, and Batman and Wonder Woman vowed to defeat Ares and destroy his helmet. After 2 years of war, they finally confronted Ares, who killed Wonder Woman, leading Batman to put on the helmet in a desperate attempt to make him pay for her death. After using his powers to kill Ares, Batman saw that Wonder Woman wasn't dead, but when she tried to remove the helmet, he killed her rather than give up its power. And of course, he went on a killing spree, murdering all the criminals and heroes who tried to stop him. Last but not least, we have Earth -32, where Bruce Wayne, after witnessing the death of his parents in a dark alleyway, is found by a Green Lantern ring. Things go bad quickly, as Wayne's willpower is too much for even the ring to handle, and he forces it to obey an order to kill his parents' murderer. For a moment, it even looks like he can command the ring to bring his parents back, but it only manages to reanimate them for a moment. He then proceeded to go on a murderous rampage, shocking, I know, and kills a string of villains before being confronted by Jim Gordon. This confrontation does not go well for the Commissioner. After the Green Lantern Corps arrives, Bruce makes pretty quick work of them as well. All of these comics end the same way, with the dark universe they take place in beginning to crumble away as the Batman Who Laughs appears to ask that incarnation of Bruce Wayne to join the Dark Knights. That is, except for the Batman Who Laughs, his story continues in Dark Knight's Metal number 4. I highly recommend reading these 7 tie-ins along with Dark Knight's Metal and checking out my Dark Knights playlist. I imagine there's a card and a link in the description, unless we forgot, in which case there isn't. Okay, guys, this has been the most fun I have ever had making one of these videos, and I hope it shows. Thank you to every single one of you who suggested it. This top 5 list actually had 11 entries because apparently I don't math, but there are still other evil Batmen out there. Jump down to the comments section and let me know which evil alternate Batman I should have included. I want you guys to tell me about the most obscure evil Batman that you can find, and I'll be in the comments section to check it out. This video is brought to you in part by Amazon.com. Get tons of free trials, great deals, and product recommendations, as well as promo codes for up to 80% off, and free books from Audible. If you see something you like, you can buy it or anything else, and this channel will get a cut. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/fancyteeth or click any of the Amazon links in the doobly-doo. Until next time, please subscribe and ring that bell so that you get notified when we release a new video, and please share this video on sites like Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. If you didn't like this video, then let me know by clicking the thumbs down button, and likewise, if you did like it, I would appreciate it if you would hit thumbs up. A super special thank you to Bo Smith, Ken Steep, Lauren Alexandra, Rachel, Dallas Fort Worth, Sincerity, the Almighty Father of Lies, and of course, praise be upon the holy patron saint of Fancy Teeth, Sleepy Hollow. Amen. And everyone join me in welcoming our newest patron, Dola. Please be kind to each other. I'm Jay Parks.